Welcome to a new edition of Harness Central. I'm Harold Howe, and we're here in Florida, fortunately at Southern Oaks, with Irv Miller to have a chat about a few things, including Andy Zolana. Now, this trotting filly, a lot of people would not know who the hell she is, but she won, I think it was $340,000, and unless I'm mistaken, that money spends as good as anybody else's. And she ended up the 5th richest trotter, regardless of sex. How do you do that?
I think the main thing, you say it spends the same, is it does spend the same, but it also didn't cost us near as much because we bought an Indiana bred filly. We stayed in Indiana. She did win the Kentucky Stallion management race, which is an open stake over there. But she was just a really honest trotting filly. She'd just do everything the right way.
$20,000 yearling by Swan for All. When you bought her, did you feel that's the right number for her?
Yeah, I think in the sale, the way the sale was going that day, of course, we tried to buy a couple other horses. They brought a little more. Maybe her maternal family wasn't quite as strong as some of the other ones, but her conformation was just impeccable. It was perfect.
Now, she's kind of emblematic of the change you've made with your stable. You've got a very diversified barn. It's not just aimed at the Grand Circuit. You're very heavy into different regional programs. Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, that's what I did a couple years ago. Just because I see chasing the Grand Circuit horses around all the time, there's only a very limited number that make it to compete at that level. Plus the expense is so high, shipping everywhere. So I tried to downgrade a little to the sire stake programs in each region, since they've got the casino money where you can race for the slot money. It's just a little better program for less investment.
In Indiana, they're making a few changes. How is it going to affect the way you approach things?
Well, we have to see. This is the first year, and of course we're heavy over there right now. We had a real good year last year in Indiana, so we'll have to see how it goes. But they're having 5 $80,000 finals, so that's a little different.
5 for like preliminary legs, and then a super final.
And then a super final on the end of the year.
For 200?
For 200 or 150 or 200, but it's a little bit different than it was. We'll have to see how it shakes out, but if we have as good a year this year, I'm sure we'll be back in it next year over there.
One thing that's noticeable coming here to the training center is you got a lot of tack boxes around here. I believe you've got 93 stalls here, and you've got X number over at Spring Garden.
Yeah, I think that's what happened. We had 88 stalls asked for here, and they come up with 5 more for me, so it was 93. And then what happened was at Harrisburg, we just bought a lot more colts than I anticipated, and so we needed a few more stalls. Of course, I left a few horses in the north at different places, but it's going to work out all right. LeWayne's going to go back to Indiana in March, so as soon as he goes back, we'll get them all grouped back together here. But some of the ones that take a little more time, and I can tell are going to need a little more time growing up, we've taken over there and just kind of taking it easy. I'm actually on my way over there now.
With this number of horses, and it's only mid-January, are there very many you hate at this point?
No, you don't hate very many, but there are a couple I've cut out. I'm trying to do that quicker than I used to, is cut a few of them out, go ahead and send them off, because I think they're only going to make race horses, and we'd like to have sire stake horses at least.
Well, listen, you certainly picked a good winter to be down here again, and thanks very much for your thoughts.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
Harold Howe with Irv Miller, giving you the Harness Racing Edge.